I'm Conrad Angel Corral for your CCTV, and we have a beautiful sunny day here in Cathedral City. We have a special segment for you because we are coming to you today from the Cathedral City Cove and this location. This is the former home of painter Agnes Pelton. Not only was it her former home, it was also a studio, her studio. And within that studio today, we're going to see a painting that at one time was used as an auction item to help create the Desert Art Center, which will be celebrating its 75th anniversary in a couple of weeks. The painting you're going to see today will be on loan and showing there in a few weeks. In addition to that, this location here just became a Class 1 historic site. This is your CCTV. I'm joined now by the current owner of the Agnes Pelton house and studio, Peter Palladino. How are you, Peter?
I'm great, Conrad. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good to see you again. When did you buy the place first?
I bought the place almost 15 years ago, 14 years ago.
And when you bought the place, did you come here because you loved the Cove of Cathedral City, or did you come here knowing that the Agnes Pelton house was here and you wanted it?
Good question. No, I wanted the Cove, so I was looking in the Cove. I definitely didn't want a house without a pool, and I knew nothing about this house's previous owner and builder, and I didn't know who Agnes Pelton was. I knew nothing, and then Chris Rain, when I bought the house, she gave me the book that was like the Bible, John Zakian's book, Agnes Pelton, Poet of Nature, and
Yeah.
I fell in love with her work.
And let's talk about Agnes Pelton. Maybe our viewers don't know much history about her or who she is or what kind of art she is known for. Can you give us a quick synopsis of who she is and what's the theme of her art?
I'll try to be quick. I'll try really hard. A lot of locals and a lot of people think of her as just a plein air artist, you know, that did scenery. And she did for the tourists to survive. She never had a benefactor or anyone to support her, so she really had to do that to live. And she had conflict with that because she wants to always love whatever she does. But she's known all over in the art world, all over the world, for her abstracts.
Yeah.
Her abstracts were considered her babies. She would take years and years on them. Some she never even parted with. And she just had an abstract sell at Christie's Museum for over $3.5 million.
Is that right?
So, and you won't find anything like that. And as far as her plein air, I don't own anything like that. And I own like 20 of her paintings.
And let's talk about, we're going to see a special painting today that's going to be on loan and on display at the Desert Art Center in a couple of weeks for the 75th anniversary or 75th season. Tell me the name of that painting.
It's called Smoke Tree in Bloom. There's an interesting story about that one as Michael Kelly, who was the #1 guru of Agnes Pelton scholar, he had given Professor Nancy Sheely a painting, and on the back of it, it had this ad, and it said Desert Art Center, opening, blah, blah, and it was just all deteriorated, and it was a picture of that painting, and I happened to have seen that painting online. And that's the only way I knew that was the painting that was sold for that. And I told Michael Kelly, because it was in Pasadena, you have to get that for me. And that's how every painting kind of has a story.
I'm trying to give people a feel for who she is and what her art was. It's my understanding that she was very much a spiritualist individual, someone who believed in or was very much a big fan of yoga, and that kind of helped lead some of her themes to her art. Is that correct?
Yes, you could say that.
Yeah. And I found this quote that I thought was really interesting that kind of talks about what she felt when she came here to the desert, because my understanding is that she was born in Germany, her family moved to Brooklyn, and then she made her way to the California area, to the desert, really for a visit. And in 1937, I think it is, she purchased the land, built 32. The house.
37 for this one.
Yes,
she lived 7 years.
Exactly. And she ended up living here for 30 years, and it kind of on a fluke.
Right.
But I saw this quote I thought was really interesting. This is from her. "The vibration of this light, the spaciousness of these skies enthralled me. I know there was a spirit in nature as in everything else, but here in the desert, it was especially bright spirit." And that kind of, I think, talks about her spirituality and her theme of her.
That's what caught her. That's why she stayed. Okay, what you're looking at now is Agnes's house. It has bookends. Both sides were additions done in the 70s. That's where the mosaics are. Nothing of her house has been mosaic. Of course, the pool wasn't here. So this is the front of her house, 611, and I'll show you the entrance. This is the front of the house, and this actually depicts paintings that she actually painted in a chair right over there next to that niche.
So as you can tell, we're working our way through the property, and now we're actually inside the house. Peter, tell us what we're seeing here.
Well, this was Agnes's actual studio. She had her easel right here, and she actually breaks my heart to look at it, had a perfect view of Mount San Jacinto, as did I when I first bought the house.
I've read somewhere that back in 1944, Agnes would have gatherings and such with her various artist friends, but two gentlemen friends of hers came in and redesigned some part of the space to become a gallery. And back in 1944, this was the first exhibit ever to happen here in Cathedral City.
Yes, because from 1944 to 1950, this was the precursor of the Desert Art Center.
So Peter, I really love this picture because I believe that this kind of shows us the landscape before the house was here. Tell us a little about what's here.
Agnes painted this in 1935. The house would probably be around here at the time, because this is 111 going into Palm Springs. So behind us was all open area, and it just gives you an idea what it was like. San Gorgonio Mountain would be straight in front of her house. This is where she would be.
Just imagine, we know what Cathedral City looks like today. This is how it started. Wow, very, very interesting. Thank you for telling us about that.